Charisma isn't the absence of flaws. Charisma is the absence of shame around having flaws. Now, I read this tweet about a week ago, and right away I knew I wanted to make a video. So leaning on your insecurities will actually turn them into charismatic traits. And if I give you an example for that, I'll use my teeth. So I have an overbite up top. I don't know if you can see it. The space in between there. I'm going to have really big front two teeth, where sometimes when I'm talking you can see them. Sometimes when I'm talking you can see them. And sometimes when I close my mouth, they're still there. And then I also got my crooked teeth here and here. Now, hey, growing up, I was never smiling. I was laughing. So I see someone looking at me, my mind tells me they're judging my teeth. I close my mouth. I would never talk about it. A bunch of things like that. I mean, everybody has insecurities, right? But as I got older, and I started smiling anyway, I started holding my laughter even though someone was looking at me. I started just saying that this is how God created them. I can't complain, and why would I go and change them, right? And now I'm sitting here and tell you that I have divinely created teeth. Well, a lot of people are walking around with veneers, with what braces did to them, with this and that. I don't know what else, the implants. I don't know what else there is, right? But I still have divinely created teeth, and some of you probably still have divinely created teeth, right? So our teeth have charisma, our teeth have character, at least, right? We have the power of God still in our jaw, right? And we know how important the mouth is. And, it kind of just, I don't want to say that completely changed my life, but what happens when you're now comfortable, laughing in front of other people, even though you have crooked teeth, or talking about something that made you insecure before? It's not really an insecurity anymore. It's just something that's a part of you. It's kind of like confidence, but it's more like self-acceptance. But the reason why it's charismatic is because other people struggle to do that. Other people struggle to be emotionally vulnerable, to be courageously vulnerable, because a lot of people walk around trying to be perfect, hiding their insecurities, laughing like this, right? Or laughing like this, or looking away to laugh, like things like that. I can only talk about teeth, for example, but I can also talk about, I used to have incredibly dry skin, where I was going out with like steroid cream on my face. And then at a certain point, I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just not doing this anymore. You could see my skin's dry. If you don't mess with me, you think I'm a lizard? You think I'm a lizard, right? And what this does, this self-acceptance, people's minds may not grasp it, but the soul is longing for a connection, but like an inspiring connection. And the reason this is inspiring is because people aren't able to just do this so easily. But the second that you do it, that you bring up your insecurities and talk about how they're okay, somebody else is able to do that too, right? That type of confidence, that charisma, the acceptance, it's magnetic. That energy, whatever you want to name that energy, is magnetic. Because people are hoping that they can do that. But the second you say, hey, I'm not perfect, nobody needs to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody can finally go, and that makes people want to be around you. That makes people want to keep talking to you. That makes people feel good and warm around you. And it's going to make you feel good and warm. I always say this with my friends, but James Harden said the greatest human act is to inspire someone. And I honestly agree. And I feel like that's why so many people want to be influencers in 2026, myself included, right? Because, what's a better feeling than seeing someone like pursuing something so happy and doing so much better in life, and they thank you for it. It's like, I didn't even do anything. You did all the work. But I feel so warm that I was able to positively affect your life in whatever way you're telling me, right? And I said this already, but I'll say it again. Sometimes the mind doesn't grasp what's really going on, because there's so much going on in your head, right? Especially with how stimulated we are nowadays because of this, right? There's so much going on between work, school, social life, social media. But the soul, it grasps and it recognizes, I've been longing for this type of connection. So being open and cool and confident about anything that makes you insecure will absolutely turn it into a charismatic trait. And something that I think is really important is that the less and less time people try and hide or fix their insecurities by putting endless amounts of time and money in it can just be transferred into spending time loving yourself, loving life, and loving one another. Remember, charisma isn't the absence of flaws. Charisma is the absence of shame around having flaws. Take care. Christ is King.